She walks to the cage looking like she belongs on a shelf in a toy store. Blonde hair, big smile, barely old enough to vote. But the moment that bell rings, she becomes something else entirely. Something that has left grown women crumpled on the canvas, gasping for air, wondering what just hit them. Her name is Smilla Sundell, and she is the most violent Barbie in combat sports. Born on November 12, 2004, in Sweden, Smilla Sundell didn't grow up dreaming of pop stardom or fashion runways. She grew up in a Muay Thai gym, throwing elbows before most kids her age had figured out what they wanted to be. By the time she was a teenager, she had already racked up a professional record that most fighters spend a decade chasing. Technically sharp, physically powerful, and completely unbothered by the pressure of the big stage. But here's what made her story different from every other teenage prodigy who came before her. She wasn't just good for her age. She was good, full stop. And one championship was about to find out exactly what that meant. In 2022, Smilla Sundell was 17 years old. This was her one championship debut. Her opponent, Deandra Martin, was a seasoned competitor who had no intention of making this easy for a teenager stepping onto the biggest stage in Muay Thai. Sundell came out with something to prove, not just to the world, but to every opponent who would ever look at her face and assume she was soft. She wasn't soft. She was a wrecking ball wrapped in a smile. Sundell dismantled Martin with relentless pressure, landing shot after shot until the referee had seen enough. 3 knockdowns, third round, TKO. Just like that, the world had a new name to remember, but the real test was still coming. 2 months after her debut, Sundell was handed something no 17-year-old had ever been handed before: a shot at the inaugural women's strawweight Muay Thai World Championship. Her opponent was Jackie Tan, a composed, experienced striker who had earned her place at the top of the division through years of hard work and elite-level competition. The doubters were loud. A teenager, in her second professional fight on the global stage, for a world title. Therefore, Sundell walked into that arena with the weight of every doubt on her shoulders, and she turned it into fuel. Over 5 rounds, she outworked, outpaced, and outclassed Buntan in a performance that left the judges with no choice. Unanimous decision, new champion. At 17 years and 5 months old, Smilla Sundell became the youngest person in history to win a world title in Muay Thai. She also walked away with a $50,000 performance of the night bonus. Not bad for a teenager. But winning a title and keeping it are two very different things. Over a year had passed since Sundell claimed the belt. The division had been watching, studying, preparing. Her first challenger was Brazilian striker Alicia Helen Rodriguez, a dangerous, aggressive fighter who believed she had the tools to dethrone the young champion. This was the fight where Sundell had to prove the title wasn't a fluke. She proved it in the most convincing way possible. By the 3rd round, Rodriguez had nothing left. Sundell's bodywork had been surgical throughout, breaking her down piece by piece, round by round, until the finish came at 2:58 of round 3. TKO, second $50,000 performance of the night bonus. One championship named her the Super Series Female Fighter of the Year for 2022. The accolades were stacking up. The reputation was growing. But the most controversial chapter of her story was still ahead. Smilla Sundell stepped up for her second title defense against Russian striker Natalia Diakova. This was the main event, the biggest stage she had stood on yet. The expectations were sky high, from the fans, from the promotion, and from Sundell herself. What followed was another dominant, clinical performance. Sundell hunted Diakova down with her trademark pressure, targeting the body with knees and punches until the fight was stopped in the 2nd round at 2:59. The crowd erupted, another finish, another statement. But then came the twist nobody saw coming. Sundell had missed weight by 1.5 pounds at the weigh-ins. Despite winning the fight, despite putting on a performance that would have been a highlight reel title defense, she was stripped of the championship belt on the spot. The win was hers. The belt was not. It was one of the most bittersweet moments in recent Muay Thai history. A fighter at the peak of her powers, delivering a world-class performance, walking away without the title she had earned in the cage. The conversation around Smilla Sundell shifted, not just about her fighting ability, but about what comes next for a champion who had outgrown her own weight class. Here is what makes Smilla Sundell's story unlike anything else in combat sports right now. She didn't just win a world title. She did it at 17. She didn't just defend it. She did it twice, finishing both opponents. She didn't just build a legacy. She built it faster than anyone in the history of her sport. And through all of it, the titles, the bonuses, the controversy, she remained exactly who she was. A young woman from Sweden who takes personality tests in her spare time, suspects she might be a little different from everyone else, and then walks into a ring and systematically destroys whoever is standing across from her. The Violent Barbie nickname isn't just a catchy label. It's the most accurate description in combat sports, because nobody looks less like a threat and nobody hits harder. By August 2025, Sundell had parted ways with one championship, not because of anything that happened in the ring, but because she had physically outgrown the heaviest women's weight class the promotion offered. That is the cruel reality of being a young, still developing athlete in a sport built around weight classes. But her story is far from over. A fighter with her skill set, her finishing ability, and her competitive record doesn't disappear. She evolves. She finds the right stage. And when she does, the combat sports world will be watching. Smilla Sundell is still only in her early 20s. The best chapters haven't been written yet. Drop a comment. Do you think one championship made the right call stripping Smilla of the belt after she won the fight? Let us know below. If you want more content like this, hit like and subscribe. You don't want to miss out on any of our future MMA videos. Until next time, stay sharp and keep swinging.